with stories that matter to you. This is Fox 6 News at 5.
Now at 5, a utility worker seriously injured after being hit by a car. The driver, who's now in custody. Plus, accused of killing a woman and her 2 daughters.
This is an extremely horrific offense.
The suspect appearing in Milwaukee County Court after fleeing the state. And one person killed, another seriously injured after being shot while sitting at a gas pump. That is our big story tonight at 5. Gunfire erupts overnight at a gas station on Milwaukee's west side.
The shooting leaving one man dead and another injured. Madeline Anderson joining us live with the new surveillance video that captured it all.
And loved ones are hoping that surveillance footage helps identify and capture the gunman. Police say he remains on the run and unknown this evening. Around 1:45 in the morning Friday, security cameras at the gas station on 37th and Vliet show a man walk up to a silver Nissan parked at the pump. The man appears to briefly speak with the driver before getting into the back seat. After 2 minutes, the man reopens the back door, standing in the doorway for a few moments when the car suddenly takes off. While it's hard to tell from the video exactly what transpired, Milwaukee Police Inspector Daniel Thompson says the man in the back seat shot at the driver and his front seat passenger.
The front passenger suffered a fatal gunshot wound. The driver suffered a non-fatal injury and is being treated at a local hospital regarding that injury.
The Milwaukee County Medical Examiner's Office has identified the passenger killed as Montreal Pate. Family and friends sharing this photo of the 32-year-old Milwaukee resident. Meanwhile, police say the gunman fled the scene. The video goes on to show the suspect running in the opposite direction as the Nissan, holding what looks like a gun in his right hand. Another camera angle captures the car driving around the side of the gas station, ultimately crashing into a tree. And anyone with information on the shooting is urged to contact police. Meanwhile, family and friends of Montreal Pate, the man killed, are planning a vigil at the scene within the hour. So far, the 38-year-old driver who was injured has not been identified. Reporting live in Milwaukee, Madeline Anderson, Fox 6 News.
So senseless. Madeline, thank you.
Milwaukee police say a 26-year-old man was shot and killed early this morning. Officers responded to the scene near 29th and Bobolink just after 5:30 a.m. That's where they found the victim. Officials say the suspect was taken into custody and were told knew the victim. A gun was also found at the scene. Anyone with more information is asked to contact Milwaukee police. No amount is enough. That's what the family of a slain mother and her 2 young daughters has to say about the bond set for the suspect accused of killing them. As Fox 6's Derica Williams shares now, while they want him to stay in jail today, there was a possibility of him having the chance of getting out.
That's right. Bail was set today as Arzell Ivory made his first court appearance in a Milwaukee County courtroom. Now, this is the first time we're seeing him in custody after he was caught in Tennessee. Police believe he was on the run after allegedly killing his girlfriend, Amara Jerica Banks, and her 2 daughters, Kamaria Banks and Zanaya Ivory. Clad in a yellow vest and handcuffs, Ivory didn't say much Friday morning, but according to a criminal complaint, he spilled a lot of the details and admitted that a domestic fight escalated. Prosecutors say he confessed to strangling Banks and the 2 girls and burning their bodies in a garage near 47th and Burleigh. While his defense requested a $200,000 bail, the heinous nature of the incidents and cover-up garnered something more significant from the court commissioner.
This is an extremely horrific offense, and therefore I'm going to set the bail at $750,000, turn over to Justice Point for level 5 supervision with GPS monitoring, 24-hour curfew. The alternative bail would be $1 million. I'm also ordering no possession of any firearms or dangerous weapons.
And that $1 million alternative bail was in line with the state's request. Family tells me they wish that amount was much more. Meanwhile, Banks and the 2 little girls will be laid to rest tomorrow morning. Live in the newsroom, Derica Williams, Fox 6 News.
All right, Derica, thanks for the update.
The man accused of murdering a Freighter nurse practitioner is found competent to stand trial. Court proceedings will move forward for Kenneth Freeman. He's accused of killing Carly Bowden in the hospital's parking lot garage more than a year ago. Initially, Freeman pleaded not guilty by reason of mental defect. His new plea hearing is scheduled for next week. New charges in a hit-and-run crash that killed 2 Milwaukee children. Corian Robinson is accused of helping his brother, the suspected driver, spray paint the car after the crash. Happened in October near 22nd and Center. Prosecutors say 19-year-old Daytwan Robinson ran a red light and hit 3 children in the crosswalk. 2 sisters, 4 and 6 years old, were killed. Their 10-year-old cousin was injured. A utility worker is seriously injured when a driver crashes into him. As Amy DuPont explains, Milwaukee police say the crash was preventable because the driver shouldn't have been behind the wheel.
Extremely tragic.
Pieces of plastic mark the spot where a night at work took a terrible turn.
It is definitely an epidemic.
A private utility worker was on the job at 6th and State, his truck warning lights flashing when police say a drunk driver slammed into him, pinning the 35-year-old between his truck and the suspect's vehicle.
I believe he's surviving, but he was in surgery.
The driver stayed on scene. He was treated for minor injuries, then placed under arrest for suspected OWI and driving on a revoked license.
We're ultimately dealing with personal behavior, and if people are going to choose to drink and choose to drive.
For Alderman Robert Bauman, who represents this neighborhood,
it's on the top of everybody's mind every single day.
The crash is frustrating, but not at all surprising.
It's pretty hard to stop them preemptively, and so we clean up the messes after the fact.
Crashes like these have become common in the city of Milwaukee. So common, in fact, the Common Council put together a reckless driving task force to come up with solutions. They've been meeting for 10 months now. Their report is due at the end of this month. In downtown Milwaukee, Amy DuPont, Fox 6 News.
Police have not released the suspect's name, but tell us the 35-year-old man is in custody. He could be charged in the coming days.
One person is dead after a 3-car crash overnight. It happened on Highway 11 in Mount Pleasant. Police believe a driver crossed the center lane, sideswiping one vehicle before losing control and being hit by a third vehicle. The driver who caused the crash was found dead at the scene. 2 other drivers were injured and taken to the hospital. 2 more were treated at the scene. We're told all of them, other than the woman who was driving the initial car that caused the crash, are expected to survive. This afternoon, 3 southbound lanes of I-94 were shut down near Rawson Avenue due to a crash. Milwaukee County deputies responded to this scene shortly before 2 p.m. One person suffered a minor injury but was not taken to the hospital. Investigators are still looking into a cause. Tonight, we are seeing for the first time a Milwaukee police officer in front of a judge accused of domestic abuse. Fox 6's Brett Lemoyne joins us live at the Waukesha County Courthouse with this officer's connection to a Milwaukee tragedy.
And Stephanie, today was supposed to be Officer Matthew Schulze's plea and sentencing hearing, but the defense asked for more time to review a possible deal. Now, this case is getting a lot of attention, even here in Waukesha County, because Schulze was partners with fallen MPD officer Charles Irvine Jr. and was even behind the wheel when their squad crashed. 38-year-old Matthew Schulze will have to wait another month to learn his fate.
On the agreement of the parties, I'll adjourn the sentencing.
Citing time needed for Schulze to review an offer with his attorney, Judge Brad Schimmel adjourns what was supposed to be Schulze's plea and sentencing hearing for domestic abuse and disorderly conduct charges.
We just need a little bit of additional time to accept that offer.
Prosecutors say Schulze hit and threatened his wife starting in January of 2018. 6 months later, Schulze, a Milwaukee police officer, was behind the wheel of the squad that crashed during a pursuit near 76th and Silver Spring. The violent wreck resulted in the death of Schulze's partner, Officer Charles Irvine Jr. Police say abuse also continued at home for nearly a year after the crash. According to prosecutors, the victim came forward to New Berlin police saying Schulze punched her in the back of the head, strangled her, and even that Schulze, quote, wanted to cut her and watch her bleed out.
I did speak with her and let her know that this was going to be adjourned, and she was okay with that.
Now, this afternoon, a spokeswoman for the Milwaukee Police Department confirmed Schulze is still a member of the force, but it is unclear at this hour in what capacity he is currently serving. Also important to point out, Schulze never faced any criminal charges or wrongdoing in Officer Irvine's death. Reporting live in Waukesha, Brett Lemoyne, Fox 6 News.
We'll see where it goes from here. All right, Brett, thank you.
After a week of bitter cold nights, temperatures are on the rise.
You could feel it a little bit out there today. We could reach to the mid-40s this weekend. Weather expert Stephanie Baracella with our look ahead.
Hey, Stephanie and Ben. Yeah, finally a warmer day today, although it felt colder once you factor in that very strong wind that we've been dealing with. But warmer temperatures this weekend and less of those windy conditions. Let's take a live look outside right now, seeing a really beautiful sunset as we look out at Milwaukee. Now, temperatures right now are still in the 30s across the board. A little bit cooler across inland areas. Warmest spots: Milwaukee, Racine, Kenosha, 34 to about 35 degrees. 32 in West Bend, Waukesha. Good evening to you guys. You're sitting at 30 degrees. Those of you in Watertown, about 31. Wind is still on the strong side. Direction out of the southwest. The reason why those temperatures continue to rise, or did rise into the 30s today. 10 to about 20 miles per hour. About 22 miles per hour sustained in Burlington. Gusting over 30 miles per hour still in a handful of spots, especially close to Lake Michigan. So we are going to continue to feel like teens and 20s here throughout the evening, most of our overnight hours. As that wind becomes a little bit lighter, we'll still feel like teens. So it is still going to be a little bit chilly out there tonight, but looking ahead to the weekend again, warmer temperatures, 46 potentially on Sunday. More details on your full weekend coming up. Back to you.
Alrighty, Steph, we'll see you shortly. We hope you get a chance to enjoy the sunshine this weekend and the milder temps out there. When you do have a moment, download the Fox 6 Storm Center app. It is free and offers a great interactive radar.
It's always been my dream to go into a store and be like the millionth customer. Happened today for people on the hop. It wasn't Tom Barrett. He wasn't the millionth rider. I'm sure he's ridden it a lot. But for a celebration of the millionth rider, Mayor Tom Barrett and Alderman Bob Bauman riding the streetcar to celebrate. They didn't just hand out like one big trophy to the millionth rider. They handed out coupon books for everyone on board.
Oh, love it.
Everybody's a winner. Books will be handed out through the weekend, so you can still get one of these things while supplies last. Two young Brewers fans, they're winning. They get an experience of a lifetime today thanks to a partnership between the Brewers and Aurora Health. They took part in spring training. Brandon Cruz shows us all the fun they had in Arizona.
Spring training for a number of players is a chance to fulfill some dreams. And on Friday, it was a chance for Evan and Caden to fulfill their dreams.
It was amazing. I love playing baseball. I love the Brewers. It was just a good match. It's really cool, and I'm even surprised I even have something like this, and this is actually happening.
Hader gave me like his cleats from his locker and then signed them and wrote a message to me, and I thought that was like really cool that I have his cleats.
This is absolutely amazing. The whole day has just been so surreal. Her taking in, meeting everybody and having these experiences and playing catch with pitchers and being able to hang out with Lorenzo Cain. It's just been very, just amazing.
I started crying because it was just so amazing how personable every one of those players were with the kids and how down to earth they were, and asking them questions like what do they like to do for fun, and like they were taking time out of their day. And it was not like we were interrupting them. It was something they enjoyed just as much as the kids, which was the most amazing thing ever.
And on top of everything, they were Brewers today, having their own locker in the clubhouse with the guys. From Phoenix, Brandon Cruz, Fox 6 Sports.
How fun. Requiring Wisconsin students to learn cursive writing.
The bill that would keep it in curricula across the state taking a big step forward today.
And a first at Marquette University, the class president breaking down barriers. It's coming up.
Fox 6 News continues now with Ben Handelman, Stephanie Grady, and Stephanie Barachello.
The Greater Milwaukee Auto Show is back starting this weekend at the Wisconsin Center. Automakers will be showing off the new vehicles, giving people a chance to get behind the wheel with no pressure to buy. It gets started tonight with a charity preview gala benefiting Special Olympics Wisconsin. The auto show runs tomorrow through March 1st. Tickets are $12 at the door, but on Saturday the 29th and Sunday March 1st, kids 12 and under get in for free.
Ooh, there's my car right there.
Chugging along, right? Well, for the first time in 125 years, Marquette's Dental School has an African-American class president. The student says she's still in shock to be representing a historic moment in the school's history.
Christina Van Zel spoke with that student about why she hopes her role will impact the entire community.
Shantae Parker is comfortable with dental tools in hand, but being the first African-American class president for Marquette Dental School,
I just don't believe that it's me sometimes,
is still sinking in.
I didn't know that I would be the first Black person to hold the position. It literally was something that was stumbled upon.
Parker has been class president since July of last year and serves as an ambassador for her class to create new initiatives for the dental school. She had no idea she'd be the first African American to step into those shoes in the school's 125 years.
Things are happening here that show that we are an inclusive place for students to thrive and for people to thrive.
Parker grew up in Atlanta and completed her undergraduate degree at the University of Miami. So she says moving to Milwaukee was a culture shock after experiencing segregation in the city.
It was just really shocking to me to see that this is where we are in modern day time.
Being hands-on helps Parker learn how to create beautiful smiles, while she hopes to bring smiles to the community by setting an example. As Parker preps a crown, some might say she wears one herself as a catalyst for an inclusive community.
To help shift that dynamic and change the perspective and show that, you know, Black people can do well. You can do anything that you want to do.
Parker hopes to open up her own practice after she graduates in 2022. Back to you.
We wish her luck. Thanks, Christina.
Sun's out there today, and finally the temperatures. We're getting out of our rut where we've been the last couple of days.
Yeah, yesterday's high was 19, today 35.
All right, we're creeping on up there. We're going to get higher this weekend, though, right?
We are 40s. Please get outside if you
Ooh.
can. I'm trying to put together a little grilling forecast for you. Maybe
How about that?
Maybe that'll make an appearance. I know my floor director just had a fist bump there. We'll see if I can get that in the 6 o'clock show or later on in the 5. But a gorgeous weekend is in store. Here's our live look outside right now. Sun is still shining. It's been a very quiet day, just a very quiet stretch of weather overall. It's our 4th or 5th day in a row of sunshine, and I know no complaints from any of you guys. 35 again, our high temperature today, a big difference from yesterday. It was still chilly this morning, though. We dropped to about 10 degrees, but tomorrow morning we're talking low to middle 20s. So even low temperatures will really start to warm up. The record for today, by the way, 66, set just a few years ago, back in 2017. That was a warm February in 2017. We did actually see a day later on in the month that reached 70 that year. Fortunately, not looking like we'll see any of those in the next couple of weeks here, but again, a warm up this weekend. We're quiet, we're clear, wind is out of the southwest still. Strong high pressure system is south of us now. Remember earlier in the week when it originated across the Dakotas, it has just slowly been moving farther towards the southeast, and it's still going to be close enough tomorrow to bring us even more of that sunshine. Let's take a look at Sky Vision Plus right now. Breezing through this evening. Now, the wind is really the only thing we can talk about here because it is still going to stay on that stronger side, 10 to about 20 miles per hour, even through the night tonight. So the wind chills are still going to be on the cooler side. Most of the day tomorrow, it'll be about 10 to 15, so a little bit less windy, but still a bit breezy. Sunny conditions expected all throughout the day. Now, we'll likely have a little bit of cloud cover to start on your Sunday, but still some sunshine. Notice as we head into the afternoon how that cloud cover may thin out a little bit. So looking at partly sunny conditions throughout the day on your Sunday, still a dry day. As far as our next precipitation chances go, this is going to bring you all the way into Monday at about noon. You'll notice how more clouds make their way on in, but you can't see any precip. There's the chance that that Monday system still stays just south of us. So at this point, it looks like Tuesday and Wednesday may be our better chance for some light snow, but still keeping a chance for some rain and snow mix on your Monday. So stay tuned for that. Now, temperatures right now dipping down into the upper 20s for Juneau, but everyone else, including towards the lakeshore, still in those 30s. A really, really big change from this time yesterday. Look at those orange contours. I think it's been a while since we've seen those, but most of us 15 to about 20 degrees warmer than this time yesterday. Now, wind chills are down into the teens in a handful of spots. Juneau, West Bend, 2 of those spots, feeling like 20 in Waukesha and 23 currently in the Milwaukee area. Now, because that wind is still going to stay breezy this evening, still plan for a pretty chilly feel. Wind chills even into tomorrow morning will drop down into the teens across the board, whereas air temperatures overnight tonight are only going to drop into the low and middle 20s. So technically air temps will be warmer, but we'll still feel chilly tomorrow morning. We're going to top out in the low 40s for tomorrow afternoon, maybe a handful of spots in those upper 30s, and then we drop back into likely upper 20s, low 30s for late Saturday night, Sunday morning, and then we warm up even more for Sunday afternoon. So 42 and sunny on your Saturday, 46 and just a few more clouds on Sunday. Slight chance for some rain and snow Monday, still a mild day, then temperatures do start to drop. Chance snow Tuesday, Wednesday, and then unfortunately Thursday, those highs will be back into the 20s. Back to you guys.
All right, Steph, thanks. A high school senior is inspiring younger students to read.
His project to make sure they have easy access to books is coming up on Fox 6 News at 5. Racine K's high school senior trying to inspire the younger generation to read.
He refurbished old newspaper dispensers into little free libraries and donated them to schools. As Fox 6's Sam Kramer reports, this Boy Scout is writing his own story.
Good morning. As Reese Rungsvoog and his dad navigate the halls of Julian Thomas Community School, a project in planning, coordinating, and refurbishing ends with a sense of gratitude.
Giving back to the community that helps support you and help raise you I think it's something that everybody should try to do.
Reese is vying for Eagle Scout. Faced with a chance to help his community, he wanted young students to understand the importance of reading and hopes his little free library will do just that.
It's a constant circulating supply. Kids can take a book and put another book back in its place, and that's the entire concept of the system.
Julian Thomas already has a library, but the school, like many across the country, sees room for improvement in inspiring kids to read, especially during an important time for child development.
You're learning to read, and then you're reading for learning. So if we can get that foundation with them in the beginning, then the sky is the limit as far as what they read and what they learn.
Diaz says they're thinking inside the box for a library they hope inspires kids and the community for years to come.
We're definitely going to get a lot of use out of it.
In Racine, Sam Kramer, Fox 6 News.
Knapp Elementary, Real School, and the Veteran Outreach Program also received one of these little free libraries. And Reese, he's now just a few badges away from becoming an Eagle Scout.
I think he's going to get there. I love that he put it in a newspaper dispenser.
It's genius.
So the kids can open it up, whatever's in there, boom, I'm going to take something from in here.
How fun.
Good idea. Bill moving forward in Madison would require students to learn cursive writing.
But still ahead, the debate over whether it's worth the time in the classroom.
And while more countries report new cases of coronavirus, the good news coming out of China.